to the month of June, Levi. So the Reggae Girls, they kicked off their FIFA Women's World Cup campaign in the month of June. So we had the Women's World Cup this year as well. That seems like a long time ago. And the Jamaican team were the first ever Caribbean nation to qualify for the Women's World Cup.
See it there?
So that was amazing. I was actually watching it, and they have some good players that you can see have got great potential. Yeah, I know you weren't too keen on watching it, so
it wasn't like in myself. It wasn't that Iman wasn't too keen on it, you know. That's true. I'm busy, man.
Yeah.
One of the works now going on. I couldn't too find the time to sit down and watch football. I get myself.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Also, what happened in the month of June, Levi, the active dancers, they went viral with their dance routine to Koffee's Toast.
Oh yeah.
You remember? So that was a nice sort of like fun thing to see. You know, some men dancing to Koffee's Toast. Who are ring me? Me I record now, man. Excuse me. Also, in the month of June, what happened was we had our first National Windrush Day, and that was to acknowledge the people who came here from the Caribbean to help build Britain after the Second World War. So there was a National Windrush Day on the 22nd of June.
Yeah.
It's nice they gave us a National Windrush Day, but I feel like the survivors of the Windrush scandal are still waiting for their compensation and their citizenship. So before you give us a street party and tell us we've got a nice fluffy Windrush Day, can you make sure the survivors of the Windrush scandal, who are still being denied NHS care, who still cannot find jobs, who still are... You know, some might be still waiting in detention centres for all we know. Some have been wrongly deported. Can you please sort out these issues before you give us a street party and tell us Happy Windrush Day? That's just my opinion.
Well said.
Okay, and in other news, Jamaica and Ghana waived their entry visa requirements for the year of return. That was announced also in the month of Levi.
Salute.
And then on the 14th of June this year... it marked 2 years since the Grenfell Tower fire.
Shame on you.
So, yeah, that was 2 years ago. So, still thinking of the 72 victims, their families, their friends, and the survivors of the Grenfell Tower fire.
Please.
Okay, so we move on to the month of July. Judah month. Jahmiel got a royal welcome when he visited Kenya. By the Maasai warriors. That was nice, actually. Good vibes. That was nice to see, a Jamaican artist really going over to Africa and sort of getting embraced by the people. This was in Kenya, and he dressed up as Maasai warrior, excuse me. And he really took part in the whole welcoming tradition, which was really nice. So we need to do more of that. We need to connect back with our African roots. And I mean, it was nice to see Jahmiel do so.
It was a lovely one.
And in the world of sport, it was very exciting. You know, I love my Wimbledon. Asha's not very sporty. Yeah, but I was screaming at my TV in the month of July because 15-year-old Corey Goff, she made history by getting through to the last 16 in Wimbledon. She was the youngest person to ever do it, so that was amazing to get behind a teenager and cheer for her. So that was amazing. Jahmiel released his debut album, Great Man.
See it there.
So it seems like his debut album, it seems like Jahmiel's been around for a long time.
Yeah, but he never really enough artists been around for a while and just released like singles, singles, collabs, features, and just enough performances, always irrelevant. But then they really put out no body of work, like to say, a project, to say, boy, EP, album. Enough of them do it. Enough of them do it. And it's like, certain artists are very EP and project driven. They always want to release projects. But then every artist is that way. Obviously, Jahmiel falls in the category where I'm not really probably keen on putting out too much albums. You just feel like this is the time to do it now and Mad week now, you get me, is it?
He seems to be getting a good reaction because I saw on his Instagram page, I don't know what country he was in, but he was somewhere and he was performing and he literally got dragged off the stage by screaming girls. But yeah, he seems to have a huge fan base, which is good for a young artist.
Yeah, man.
So he can just build on that. So
true,
yeah, man, congratulations to Jahmiel on the release of his debut album called Great Man. If you haven't checked it out, please do check it out and support it. It's out now.
Lessons.
Month of August, Issachar, the tribe of Issachar. We had the Emancipation Day March on the 1st of August. That happens annually.
Sure.
Always a nice vibe. I love going to the march. I love it. It's like every August I have to. It's like I have to go. It's like the only time I think apart from Notting Hill Carnival, but it's a different kind of vibe. I think it's the only thing that we have in Britain where Black people gather, no matter, your background, if you're from Africa or if you're from a Caribbean island or if you're South American or if you want to consider yourself British or English. It's the only place where we gather en masse for like one common cause. And I feel like whenever I go and I turn that corner out at Brixton Tube Station and then I just see a sea of African print or Rasta colours or African flags, Caribbean flags, it just does something to you that you can't describe. I always leave the march on a high and on a good vibe. So that's the annual Emancipation Day March, which takes place on the 1st of August. They leave Windrush Square and march to the Houses of Parliament. And then they march back and have like food and performances. Really nice vibe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And of course we had Notting Hill Carnival as well this year. That happens. Well, you should know when that happens. That's been happening for so long. That's the last weekend in August.
Yeah. Sunday and the Monday.
Sunday and the Monday. Yeah, I love Carnival. I think my attachment comes from like a child. Like my dad used to take me. It was like, we used to go and it still gives me that feel good feeling. Like I said, it's nice to see us go and sort of just enjoy ourselves, because I feel like as Black people in Britain, it can be quite a hostile environment sometimes. You can feel like I'm not accepted, or face little microaggressions at work, or people come and say, can I touch your hair, is that right? And all them kind of things just make you feel like, oh, do you know what I mean? You turn on the TV, you see the news, and you're hearing this racist. Our footballers are still getting monkey chants. It's just like, sometimes you can just feel like, oh, this place. But then to go to somewhere like Carnival and you just see us enjoy ourselves,
a sense of belonging.
Yeah, and not even that, just to see us, it's not a trauma story. So like if you put the TV on and you see one of our faces, it's usually a trauma story. Someone's mourning the loss of their child or something bad. It's always bad and negative. Whereas Carnival, you go and you see Granny dancing and shaking her waist. All right, darling. Then you see like the youngsters doing their thing. You know what I mean? You see like the old granddads standing there chatting to each other with their Guinness. It's just like a beautiful vibe. And I don't agree with like all the slackness and everything like that. But that's that's my personal thing. But I understand that is part of Carnival now. And each to their own. But it doesn't take away from the beauty of us gathering and feeling the unity and feeling like we can express ourselves and we have a culture that is ours, whether it be the food, whether it be the dance, whether it be the costume, whether it be anything. And I feel like that's the only thing really that we have. So yeah, man, big up everyone who goes to Carnival and enjoys themselves. I will be there. Jump and wave. Everybody, jump and wave. Everybody, jump. I'll try and drag Asher Heights along. Do you know what I mean? But true, he's like, I don't really deal with that. But, you might see INI Reason in the Carnival this year. I'll try and get Asher to jump and wave. Jump, jump, jump. Follow the leader, follow the leader. All right, and then also in August, Morgan Heritage released a brand new album called Loyalty, and that's been getting a good reception. And also it was very, very uplifting, because in August, Sizzla Kalonji received his Icon of Reggae Award from the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, and they had a big celebration. It was part of the Jamaica Independence Day celebrations at the National Stadium. And it's Sizzla rode in on his motorbike, which was nice. And
nice
his
entrance.
red, gold and green banner. I actually loved it.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him get recognition, not just for his endless body of work, because I think he's now on 73 albums, I think. He's been around for a long time, and it's just not the work he does in the music industry, but stuff that he does outside of it as well that I feel like he deserves recognition for, whether it's with his August Town Foundation or his children's charity, or whether it's helping to send, you know, Rastafarian elders to Shashamane for the first time. I feel like he does a lot of work that goes unnoticed. So it was kind of nice to see him get his flowers and his props, because I feel like it's long overdue.
True.
What did you make of Kalonji getting his award?
Well, 100% in terms of the reason why they give it to him. I don't know why they gave it to him, but
Oh, you suspect, yeah?
no, it's not that I'm on the suspect, you know. But I know that the warrior is ready from them time there. So yeah, I look at flowers and I look at plaque, not really change nothing for your still. See what I say? But obviously to the warrior himself, he probably feel like, okay, they are acknowledging me now. I'm gonna give thanks to that. So for that purpose of it, I'm gonna give thanks for the whole occasion. You see me? And plus the gathering of everyone to see it. I give thanks to that also. But does it change anything in the way how they treat Rasta musicians or Rasta and all? I don't know. And is it an ulterior motive? I don't know. But when it comes towards the government, I don't trust them. So anything. But I give thanks to the gathering. I give thanks to the entrance on the bike and the unity. And give thanks to the
crank up.
Yeah, see what I say? And give thanks to the whole strength. You see me I say? So yeah. It's a blessing to see him, give thanks.
Yeah, I'm happy he got that award. Also, let's move on to the month of September. Big up all the Zebulons. Yeah, man. That's when Hurricane Dorian made landfall in the Bahamas and just completely destroyed some of the islands there.
Wow.
That was horrible. You know what I still think of? There was a video that circulated on social media, and I think the person was in a block of flats or an apartment block, and they're standing, looks like on the top floor of their flat, and at the window you can see muddy water. The water is lashing against the window, and all I kept thinking was, oh my gosh, that means that everything below is underwater. I've never seen anything like that. It was like a very haunting image. Yeah, it was horrible. And then the things that were happening afterwards, I wanted to actually speak to some Bahamian people, because the stuff that was coming out on social media afterwards was like really shocking. They were blaming Haitian, well, not they, some of the Bahamian people were saying, you know, this hurricane has come because Haitians live on the island and they're doing voodoo and witchcraft, and they brought this hurricane there, which is absolute nonsense. And then there was also videos circulating with, again, a small group of Bahamian people saying that they don't want anybody in the island who's not Bahamian. So they were talking badly about Haitian people and Jamaican people and anybody from any other island. And I was thinking, so you think this hurricane that's come and destroyed your island is the fault because there's Jamaicans on the islands and Haitians on the island? Like, that was like the bit where I was just like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to go live and just cuss, but I was like, do you know what? No. Are we still having these inter-island wars and these inter-island prejudices and these inter-island nonsenses? You know? But the hurricane was devastating. And hopefully, you know, the people are able to get back on their feet and rebuild their lives. But we need to stop all this
blame game.
Yeah, we need to stop it, man. In big old 2019, a hurricane comes and you're going to say, oh, it's because there's Haitians on the island. Or there's Jamaicans on the island, or there's Dominicans on the island. It's just nonsense. Like, we need to get, like, I'm so passionate about this because, I don't know if it's because, like, my parents are from 2 different islands. So when people start doing this whole island versus island thing, I'm like, it's just nonsense. It's so silly. Like, have you ever travelled to another island and seen what the people are like? Do you know what I mean? It's just it's nonsense. Like, And I think who in their right mind would believe that the Haitians brought the hurricane there? And we need to stop all of that as well, because I wanted to talk about that, the 1804 documentary that we watched about the Haitian Revolution. And this idea that Haitians are evil and rare and you don't like Haitians and they're this and that. We need to stop all of that. There's a documentary out there called 1804, and we both watched it.
Yeah.
And you're Jamaican, I'm Grenadian and Vincentian, but we're African people still.
Yes, sir.
And we watched the documentary, and I tell you, I was blown away. I was like, oh, okay. So this is why they don't like Haitian people then.
Yes, sir.
We need to give that island and those people their props.
Yes,
and we need to take our hats off to them for what they went through with the revolution that helped us to be free in this island's surroundings. So that includes you, Bahamas. Do you know what I mean? That includes all the other Caribbean islands and them kind of things there. We need to not bring them into 2020. I want to see more unity amongst I, because all this island division, all these diaspora wars, Jamaica versus Nigeria, do you say plantain or plantain, and is jollof rice better than rice and peas? All of that nonsense online. Now I'm going to get real angry because just yesterday I was seeing some nonsense on Twitter. I mean, in big old 2019, with the issues we're facing as black people, no matter what island or what country you come from, the issues we are facing worldwide as black people, you have time to sit down and argue over whether you pronounce plantain as plantain or plantain. You have time to argue whether patties are better than roti, or if roti is better than patty, or if jollof rice is better than rice and peas, or... It's just nonsense. We're arguing over things that don't even matter. Whereas other people are sitting there planning how to plot and take all our land and take all our diamonds and our minerals and culture vulture our culture. And we're sitting there arguing over planting. You understand? So these things get me vexed. So
diversions.
Yeah. I don't want to see any of that in 2020, man.
Yeah,
it's time we leave them things alone and focus on the bigger picture.
Illusion.
But let me move on. Also in the month of September, the former president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, passed away at the age of 95. Also in September, 2 blue plaques were unveiled in the United Kingdom to mark special places where Emperor Haile Selassie lived during his time in Britain. Also, the Nyabingi Theocracy Church School was opened in Big Creek, Antigua, and
Salute.
That was given to the people or the Rasta community by Prime Minister Gaston Brown. That was nice to see.
Good vibes.
I loved seeing that.
Yeah, good vibes.
Also, the greatest sprinter ever. Ooh, and we're not talking Usain. The greatest female sprinter ever, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, won another gold medal at the World Championships, and that I loved that. That was nice to see. Moment, and she had her beautiful son there to see it all as well.
Powerful.
Let's move on to the month of October. Dan. Also some sad news. What happened in October?
Your deepest condolences.
What happened in October? You don't need to read it. What happened in October?
Just, that going on.
Yeah.
Louie Rankin. Louie Rankin in dropout, no?
Yeah, Louie Rankin, aka Teddy Bruckshot.
Teddy Bruckshot.
Famous Jamaican actor. He sadly passed away.
Was in Canada, right?
Yeah, I think it was a car crash, no?
It was doing some kind of movie or something like that.
Yeah, he had just been finished filming a film.
Yeah.
And he sadly passed away.
Teddy Bruckshot.
That was a complete shock and devastation. Also, what happened in the month of October, we celebrated what would have been the 75th birthday of Peter Tosh on the 19th of October. So there were celebrations at the Peter Tosh Museum in Jamaica. And also a blue plaque was unveiled in Basing Street, Ladbroke Grove, West London, for the Wailers. So that's Bunny Wailer, Peter Tosh and Bob Marley at the area where they recorded some of their best love work. So you can go and visit the blue plaque and see it. That's in Basing Street, Ladbroke Grove, West London. Also, what happened in October was history was made again. We was making enough history this year, you know. I'll tell you about our people are just so amazing. Kip Goad Elude, I hope I've said that right. He's from Kenya. He became the first man ever to run a marathon in under 2 hours.
Pause.
Yeah, so he did that, and also in the world of sport, Grenada Greens. Grenaders. Every time something comes up about Grenada, I'm gonna be like, Greens. Sorry, I'm being biased here, but Grenada's Anderson Peters won a gold medal in the men's javelin final at the World Championships, and it was a historic day because he became the second world champion for Grenada, and of course the first was Karani James a few years back. Big up Anderson Peters and Kip Goad Elude for making history this year in the world of sport. Okay, let's move on to the month of November for the month of Gad. I did the Nipsey Hussle piece and Sister Waletti, so I feel like it's only right you talk about what happened in the month of November, especially pertaining to Akae Beka.
Yeah, so Judge I know that one day kinda it home hard still, but I kinda try my best for show a certain vibe because, you know, and everything if you show more time you have to hold a thing one away more time, you see me I say. But concerning Midnight, Akae Beka, Van Benjamin, it's like one of I'm an era star. I now go on there, it's like people, Akae Beka, Van Benjamin, you know, them on the music, them on the inspiration, them on the presence, them on the aura, them on the every sound with them on the utter in music and outer music is like it's divine stars that the most I have him for himself, you know. And I pour music through him, you get me I say? Words of wisdom through him, and believe me, the world I will greatly miss a soul like Akae Beka, I tell her. Because I personally, when I'm listen to the amp music and things, like a different powers, different energy. It's like an ancient prophet from them time they are utter. You see me? So when we hear about the news and say him transcend, it was like, what? Take about a week or something, you kind of soak in and say, yeah. And I can hear different people talk about the same message, you know, But you know, when you are a great soul and when you come to great things and when the world love you, no matter who hate you, but when the world love you, you live on forever. Just like the greats them show and prove that, you know. So yeah. Salute to the family of Akae Beka. You know, condolences from that time. Yeah. And to all the music lovers them, you know where you go. Blessings again. Give thanks.
Yeah, man, that came as a shock. And it's been revealed he was only 50 years old. And he was actually laid to rest on the 25th of November in his birth island of Antigua. So I know people associate him with St. Croix because he spent a lot of time there. But he was actually buried in Antigua. So deepest condolences to the fans, family, and friends and loved ones of Vaughan Benjamin, Akae Beka of the band Midnight.
Yes,
okay, month of November continues, and legend Max Romeo celebrated his 75th Earth Day on the 22nd of November. So he's now 75 and still going strong, still touring and performing all over the place. And Pressure Busspipe released his new album in November. His new album is called Rebel with a Cause, and in fact it also features Vaughan Benjamin on one track. And also features a number of other artists. Also in November of Inner Circle, the legendary band, apparently on the production set of the final day of filming for the up-and-coming Bad Boys 3 film in Miami. Now, Bad Boys 3 is a film, well, it's now a trilogy they call it, of the Bad Boys movies that star Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. And it's understood that Inner Circle, their music is going to be used in the soundtrack for the movie. Bad Boys 3 is scheduled to premiere in theatres on January the 17th, 2020. All right. Now we're on to the month of December.
December to remember.
Yeah, which is the month of what?
Asha.
What tribe? Asha. All right. So I should actually let you do the whole month of December and give my voice a rest. Oh, look, he's taken the laptop. So what happened in the month of December? Let's go.
Congratulations to Damian Marley. Yeah. And the welcome to Jamrock Cruise.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I understand that's just finished. They had a mad lineup for that.
Yeah. And what you saying, Empress? Is one of the thing on their bucket list, right?
Oh yeah, welcome to Jamrock's Cruise. I have to reach before I'm no longer on this earth. I have to experience it once, even if I turn up and I'm 60 or 70. Be like, welcome to Jamrock with my walking stick.
No, I don't want to go so far. I want to reach anytime soon. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in the month of Asha, secondly, them say TV network HBO is interested in documenting incarcerated dancehall DJ Vibes Cartel. So HBO follow up on the trial and the whole thing, gossip on the juice.
I don't know if we need a film about it.
They want to feed it to the world. Look at gossip on the juice here going to Jamaica.
What is that going to do to portray Jamaica in a positive light? Personally, I don't think...
Who told you they want to portray Jamaica in a positive light? Did they tell you that?
Well, no, I just don't think they need to make a film about the whole thing.
Well...
They could make a film to do with other aspects
It's so like all they're interested in is making more money, Empress. I don't think they want to try and figure out... save nobody or try to make something seem appealing and all these things.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell some what do you call it now? Streamings.
Yeah. I mean, I know that we're talking about films. I want to say as well, this year was actually quite good for films. Shout out to the makers and the actors in Top Boy and Blue Story. Those two films actually
shout out, salute.
This year and were standout moments.
Yeah, I really love the production from Top Boy. I not say Blue what do you call it again?
Blue Story.
I not say Blue Story yet. But I know that the Virgin has put out some great work, but I still look forward to go see it. But I man say Top Boy, and Top Boy is a great production. I'm give thanks.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to seeing Blue Story.
Shout out to Ashley Walters, don't it?
Yeah, Ashley Walters, Kano, the whole crew.
Kano, the whole crew, yes, I. Blessings. So yeah, thirdly on the list now, the month of Asha same way. Them say legendary toast and DJ Daddy Uri was crowned King of DJs by Irish and Chin in Queens, New York. So we say salute again, first and foremost to Irish and Chin for recognizing that Daddy Uri needed to be crowned King of DJs and putting the work in and making sure say you get, manifested. So we give thanks that same way. Great, I recognize great. Blessings.
Yeah, that was extremely emotional and it was nice. It was a nice event. Shabba Ranks was actually the one who came out with the what do they call it? A cloak, a robe and a crown and put it on Daddy Uri's head. And he was actually crying. We understand now he's 78. So, it's nice for him to get this recognition while he's still here. We need more of that. So yeah, man, big up Irish and Chin for doing that. Also, in the month of December, Asha Anthony Joshua regained all his titles.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, man. So big up Anthony Joshua. Also, what happened, it was the anniversary of the passing of Garnet Silk, who passed away in 1994. So I saw a lot of tributes to Garnet Silk online, actually, during the month of December. And also, I'm not going to talk about the general election because that happened in this month. I'm not talking about that. It was just awful. That's all I'm going to say. And also, actually, big up all the beautiful black women around the world. Congratulations to South Africa's Zonzi Bini Tunzi. I hope I've said that right. I've been practicing it. Zonzi Bini Tunzi. She was crowned Miss Universe 2019 and she's from South Africa. And then also, big up to Tony Ann Singh of Jamaica. She was crowned Miss World 2019. And we do understand that also in America, Miss USA Miss America, and Miss Teen USA are all, in fact, black women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
So you see the Wella catch up now.
Yeah. Black woman lead, you know.
Yeah. I think that was nice.
African woman lead, you see it. Same way Africans are lead the whole world.
Yeah. That was nice to see. I can't believe it's the first ever time that black women have held all titles. Considering some of these pageants and competitions have been going on for a long time. If it has to happen in 2019, so be it.
Well, I think it's an historical moment because it's basically a show the world what time it is and what time it was and what time it always will be. That black woman is first and another certain go.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And also to close for the month of December, Ghana are getting ready to close off this year with their Year of Return celebrations. So they done a special ceremony in Ghana to welcome back African descendants back to Ghana. And we do understand, I think by the time it gets to the end of December, up to 1 million people have actually gone back to Ghana, whether it's for a couple of weeks or whether it's for a longer period of time, and they have a big celebration coming up. So big up to Ghana and the whole government and Prime Minister for putting on the Year of Return. Very, very exciting stuff, especially leading into 2020. Also, as we know, it's Christmas for some people, and they got Kwanzaa. Asha calls it Trickmas. But yeah, so it's Kwanzaa as well for a lot of people. Have a lot of celebrations. So we're wishing you guys a wonderful festive season, whatever you're doing. We don't do Christmas till the 7th of January. But yeah, have a great time. Be safe. Enjoy your families. Rest. Eat good. And just relax.
Don't eat too much though.
Yeah, don't eat too much.
And don't drink too much.
Of course, don't drink and drive as well.
Yeah, straight up.
Before we sign out for 2019, things to leave in 2019. What things don't you want to see brought into the year 2020 as the new decade approaches?
Wow.
I've already mentioned mine. Diaspora wars. Nigeria versus Jamaica, Africa. No, leave that. I don't want to see that in 2020. What is it now? All this Brexit talk. I'm tired of that. They can leave that, but I know that's going to continue till January. I think just a lot of. I don't want to see knife crime in 2020. All these stabbings that's been happening across London and Britain, it's just been heartbreaking and devastating for people and their families. And there's a real sense of, parents are frightened for their children. They're young boys. They're frightened. So I hope and pray that in 2020, we as a community are able to sort of come together, and really the youths them are able to sort of find a way to realise that is not the way. So that would be something I want to leave in 2019. Anyway, what about you?
I want to leave poverty in 2019. I want to leave stress in 2019. I want to leave doubt and everything else that's negative, envious, jealousy, bad mind, everything at that sort. And just focus upon prosperity, progress.
Good vibes, man.
Yeah, hopefulness.
Yeah, there's nothing like good vibes. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, we got through that review. Sorry if I was talking a lot. It was a lot to get through, running down 12 months in an hour or so. Sure. We did it. If I've missed anything that you wanted us to mention, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Did I miss anything out major that happened this year? And off the top of my head, I can't say I have. But if we have, when we come back in January, we can talk about it still. When we come forward. True. Yeah, man. So give thanks for your listening ears. I'm Sinai Flary and he's Asha Heights. And together we are INI a Reason podcast. That was your 2019 review. And as we go into 2020, we wish all our listeners and supporters nothing but love, prosperity, and riches in the most beautiful way. Not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, physically, and in all other killies.
Yes, people, give thanks again. You don't know you got more life again. Hopeful, blazing.
And don't forget, if you want to get in touch with INI A Reason Podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at INI A Reason Podcast. To send us your comments and feedbacks or topics, send us an email at iniareason@gmail.com. That's iniareason@gmail.com. And don't forget to use the hashtag INI Podcast. And also, don't forget you can listen to our podcast on YouTube, but also on the Colourful Radio website. Big up Colourful Radio.
Blazing.
You can go to www.colourfulradio.com. That's www.colourfulradio.com and search on presenters and look for INI A Reason. Yeah, man, give thanks.
Bless up, people.
And all the best for 2020 when it arrives. We love you. Give thanks for the love and support.